How's the Prothean device coming?
Alliance R&D has officially begun construction. The team has dubbed it Project Crucible. We're throwing everybody who knows how to hold a hammer at it. This is going to be the most ambitious undertaking in human history.
Will we get it done?
I'm not saying it won't be a challenge, but our researchers tell me the designs are elegant, massive in scope, but strangely simple as well. We can do this, Shepard. You can do this. Never doubt that.
No, sir.
Good. Hack it out.
The female.
Hello, once again. Welcome to another round of Arbitration Studios as we continue our journey across the whole damn thing of Mass Effect 3. I'm JP Arbiter.
And I'm Captain Jack.
And we are on road to Tuchanka to fix everything. Settle down. We're not curing the genophage yet. You are not getting thousands upon thousands of breeding requests for helping the Krogan.
Need to synthesize base antigen from female.
That'll
Also
be
requires
next.
healthy male Krogan tissue. We'll need
Happy again.
So,
We'll need
when
to
last
record
we
Morgan for
met, we
procedure.
had left Sirkesh and we went off to a planet whose name I can't even be fucked to remember.
Yeah.
And
Do it?
instead went on
Similar to
and
genophage
helped
modification.
out Rex's
Working
special
against all
operations
operations.
company led by
Simple as
our
possible.
baby boy Grunt. It
We'll
was
need to counter and
great.
shut down a redundant nervous system, adjust neurotransmitter levels.
We re-killed the Rachni Queen and we
We'll create a cure, Shepard.
litigated, like so many other Mass
Then get
Effect
started, Morgan.
video makers before us,
Always do.
the
We'll
justification
be in
of
med bay
using
if
the
you like to
Rachni
speak.
for
We'll
Mass
need to
Effect
file
3 because we don't have an original bone in
Females
our
will
body.
never know.
Not one.
Normandy,
Not at
human
all.
vessel.
No,
Human
we're
mythology
middle-aged
appropriate
men
under certain
commenting on a
Suggest speaking with her.
What,
New
15-year-old
perspective.
game?
Surprising.
Jesus
Incredible.
Christ. I commented on this because my older son started playing Mass Effect Andromeda, and I told him, you know, this is honestly a good thing for you because Mass Effect 1 is a little archaic, mechanically speaking, even with the Legendary Edition.
Get out.
So like the more recent game might be a good start for you. And then I said, because after all, Mass Effect 1 came out with,
You both in the war.
holy shit, you weren't even born yet.
He was not. He was not born.
I don't even think my wife and I were married yet.
You were not. You guys were not. I was still with my ex-wife, actually.
Uh-huh. So that's how
You
long.
said one of your ships
Jesus
had gone
Christ.
Yeah.
We're getting old.
Getting?
I could be speaking for the Krogan.
So,
Our ship went down.
Primarch
in
Victus,
Tuchanka.
he's got a mission for
I've been
us.
pinned by an
We
advanced
gotta
guard
save a
of
Turian
Rupert
platoon
scanning
on
the planet.
Tuchanka, and the first and most logical
men
question
going
is,
there.
what the holy hell is a
I'm sorry.
Turian platoon doing on
It's
Tuchanka?
classified.
And he gives us
But
a
it's
story
vital to be
that I don't
rescued.
know about
They
you
must
when you
complete
played
their
this, but
original
I
mission.
knew something
It's
was
a
up.
matter of
I
Galactic peace.
thought it was fishy. But then coming from the military background that I have, I kind of
I appreciate
heard
your help
the
and understanding.
a lot of kind of the buzzwords.
Why
Of-
it was a case of, and I have to remember, I have to remind myself of this. Humanity is not in the position of America
Right.
on this.
Yeah.
That's the Turians.
Yes.
So, when the Turians are engaged in a military action on a non-Turian world because of an act that a third species is doing on that planet, that's actually like normal
Yes.
for the predominant military power. It's not a position I am used to being in when I'm seeing human beings.
And there is another thing.
I mean, humanity is really more like Australia in the Mass Effect universe, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. And there is another thing that is kind of analog to America and to with the Turians, is that somebody a long time ago that isn't alive anymore, that has nothing to do with the current government, made a really, 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 at the time, was probably a good idea, or at least a necessary idea.
But now we're paying for it.
But now we have to fix it because now it's a terrible idea. It's the worst idea ever.
So first off, this mission is fairly straight up, and in terms of, I'm not always going to do this where I justify squad member choices, but I felt that first off, bringing Garrus was necessary because we're rescuing a Turian platoon.
Yep. No,
and so
100%.
by having a Turian accompany me, he can be the one to pop out and go, "Hey, you guys, we're cool."
Yep.
Especially since they're engaged in actions against human beings.
Yes.
As far and plus, Garrus is our boy.
Garrus is our. I mean, that's our best friend.
As far as James, if I was interested in a heterosexual romance, I would be pursuing James whether he wanted it or not.
I mean, he a big boy.
Well,
and I do like him thick.
And he is Freddie Prinze Jr.
That's true.
That too. So, I am 85% straight, and I am still incredibly jealous of Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Hey, I'm jealous of both of them.
This is true.
That is I'm just jealous of either or. But
I am more jealous of Seth Green and his wife. Holy shit.
No lies. So, really, in my mind, one of the, what this is to me, anyways, this whole, this section is an opportunity to pick up a whole bunch of loot.
Mm-hmm.
It's a straightforward run and gun.
I do like that it is a straightforward. The only reason we're not dropping you right on top of them is because we can't land a shuttle there.
Right. Exactly.
Remember, they crashed there.
Exactly. Now, I personally would have gone for a Krogan airdrop, but I mean.
But we also want to keep the Krogan as far the fuck away from this op as possible.
Absolutely.
I mean. Again, Turians on Tuchanka, that is a cause for bloodshed by its mere...
Not cool.
These effing things. So...
We have this world's version of a dragon.
Yeah. The Harvesters. We don't encounter these all that often. We only encounter them in Grunt's loyalty mission in 2, if I recall right. And they had this thing where they were dropping off, big bugs that we never see in 3,
right? Which is
a real shame. I would have loved to have seen them.
Yeah, to see the upgraded animations for them. Yeah,
and those would have been a good alternate to the Ravagers being descended from Rachni as well.
Absolutely, 100%. No question.
Anyway, design-wise, you said they were this universe's version of dragons. You like dragons. I take it that you like that design.
I'm not mad at it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not mad at it. To me, it fills a niche that was missing, which is kind of an airborne unit, other than those weird bug things with the mouthful of skulls.
Yeah, and then, or the Oculus drones with the laser beam.
Yeah,
and I would have loved to have fought more of those things on the ground.
Yeah. And I think that's a perfectly reasonable kind of, but this fills that niche of kind of a airborne unit that you have to fight.
That one will drop off more.
That drops off troops
and gives them local fire support.
Yep, absolutely. And I ain't mad at it.
Bullshit you have to deal with.
Yeah, I think it adds a subtle and well, not so subtle, but it adds a element of difficulty to the game that I appreciate.
And here's number 2 of 3, I think.
Yeah, and I believe that there is an achievement for killing a certain amount of these in the game.
What I think it is that when you get to Thessia, you encounter 2 of these things at the same time. You get double teamed. And then if you knock both of them out before air support comes in to drive one off, that's what gets you the achievement.
Okay.
I think it's been a while since I've had to care about achievements in this game.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that They also are. They just add an element, I think, and I think they could have added that element with other creatures. I think they absolutely could have, and I wouldn't have been mad at it. But because that's what they chose to do it with, I ain't mad at it.
Yep.
I'm good with it. I'm down with it.
Now, speaking of elements that we love, get used to seeing this shotgun that I have equipped. The N7 Piranha, which was not available initially in Mass Effect 3. It came on from a multiplayer DLC pack and was also integrated in the single player game. It fast became a favorite of mine. Because the thing is that it does something that no other shotgun has except like maybe the Scimitar, and that is provide a rapid fire close quarters weapon. Jesus Christ, maybe we face 4 of these damn things.
I'm not a huge fan of shotguns in the game. Actually, I'm not a fan of them at all. That's, I think, the only achievement I haven't gotten is
killing shit with shotguns.
I just never. I don't like getting. Yeah, I just didn't ever really like them. But I can see why you would with the automatic.
The thing about the Piranha is that it's not just the heavy close quarters firepower, because all shotguns give you that. It is the volume of fire. It is that it cycles quickly. I will never understand. I kind of blame Doom for this.
Yeah.
The fascination with the pump action for a shotgun being fixed when there's no need for that in a sci-fi setting.
Right? I mean, we've
had semi-automatic shotguns since 1930.
Yeah, and we have a fully automatic shotgun too, which
although those are always rough because shotgun shells have always had a broad rim to them. And that actually is a pain in the ass to make for a semi-automatic.
I'm actually a huge fan of the automatic shotgun. There we have one of the Hulks.
For you, it's the AAS-12, that Korean thing, right?
No, it's American made.
All right. The one that I'm thinking of, it's often depicted with a drum magazine. Stargate made it famous.
Yeah, it had the drum magazine and whatnot. It
was also the thing that Adrian Brody used in Predators.
Yes, I believe so.
So I thought that was originally South Korean made, and then an American company licensed it.
I would have to look that up, but I think that the thing's sexy, is what I'm saying. I think that it's sexy, but I also think that it's a point that in games, like you said, they kind of went the...
Wait. Skadoosh!
Boom! They kind of went the Doom way, and they said that the pump action, which I think is...
Don't get me wrong. It looks awesome in Doom to just go clack, clack.
Yeah, it looks awesome, but it's still...
Semi-autos and full auto shotguns should be more prevalent in sci-fi games.
Indeed.
You can work out how to balance it. The easiest way to balance it is a low ammunition count before reload.
Yeah.
So you don't want to be going deck.
Yeah, you don't want to go DACA, but you want to have at least a little DACA.
Yeah.
I said, stand down.
Or it's automatic, but it's got the fire rate of that god awful French rifle from World War I that Chauchat, I think it was.
Yeah, sounds familiar. Oh,
with the half moon clip that was open to the elements, because that's a way to get your gun fouled up.
Yeah,
it was so bad that Americans invented the box magazine just to fix it.
Right? Hey, I've said it before and I'll say it again. American ingenuity is best exemplified by when American military get crap equipment and turn it into sci-fi, like for the time, science fiction.
funny thing about that too is that I say a fire rate like it because that thing's fire rate was basically thunk, 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 thunk. That was rapid fire for 1918, man.
Hey,
Abandoning your mission?
it's and not everybody can commit war crimes like Canada. We have to come up with other ways to win our wars.
I don't know. There was the trench sweeper shotgun with the bayonet that was basically was a short sword.
If Cerberus had
The Germans tried to say it was a war crime, but they couldn't point to any actual international laws or agreements that made it one.
Well, it's not.
And also they lost, so we got to dictate what was and was not a war crime.
And so we said everything Canada did was a war crime.
It's your job to make them want to.
No, we said, look, we want to make everything Canada did a war crime, but honestly, we're afraid of them.
Yeah, it's true. They burned our White House down.
Look, they are angry, crack-addicted honey badger.
Hey, look,
Fears? We're only afraid of
maple
the next
sugar is not
massive
crack,
order you give.
but it is close.
Irrelevant.
And it is very good.
Court-martial, death, and
But
disgrace
anyways,
awaits
so
anyone
here we
who
have
challenges us.
rescued
We
the
are
Turians,
Turian.
and we have a lieutenant who has.
And I told him, I went with the oorah moment. I said, hey, kick their ass. You're here to do a job. I'm not sure that was the right way, but it's the fun way.
Yeah, well, I mean, honestly, for Turians, I think it's the right way.
Mhm.
The oorah moment, and it comes in any kind of conflict, And here's the thing: I am not a huge believer in the whole, oorah country, blah 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 blah, flag, blah 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 blah.
I don't think appealing to God, country, and family does it, but I think a certain amount of appealing to duty. We have a job to do, and we must do it.
I do believe wholeheartedly, with all my heart,
What the hell is going
in
on, Commander?
you
And
do
what
it for the guy next to you.
Mm-hmm.
You're not doing it for any nebulous, greater, whatever it is. You're doing it for the guy next to you. And I think
Because all of us were stupid enough to join this chicken shit outfit.
well, yeah. And so I think that oorah can be the way to go. And I think in this case, it was the way to go. Because they're Turians.
Let's not push it. And how about this bomb? How many troops does Cerberus have on this?
I mean, if they were American Marines, I would have given them a speech about Chesty Puller and where do you put the bayonet. But they were Turians, so. And now we're gonna come correct because
Victus, I'm about to have some words with you.
and they are not going to be the same words of love that I had for Rex.
Or the same words of love that you had for Victus in the first place.
Exactly. I mean, I do like Victus. I just always get a little upset about this part right here.
Do you trust me with information that puts your people?
Would you trust me? Yes, because it's do or die time. The chips are down.
Doesn't make
That's
sense.
right.
Decisions
Holding
like
things
these
back
make
gets people killed.
And there's no reason for it.
Now,
Your government is gone.
My government is gone. We are all we have.
Even if we win.
and that's all.
All of that
But
shit
you know what? The
goes
thing is,
out the window.
but the thing is, I get where Victus is coming from.
Mhm.
Because in the past, he was not the guy.
No,
He could always pass up the shit he didn't want to deal with.
absolutely.
And but now he's stuck and he doesn't know what to do. So
No argument.
holding back is old instincts. And remember,
Yep.
those old instincts had to stop being old instincts 15 minutes ago.
Hey, no, you won't. I'm not. I
It
kind of
just-
understand where he's coming from.
It just has to be a fast lesson.
Yeah, I understand where he's coming from. That doesn't mean I have to agree with it.
Worst case
And that's why I also talked about this and wanted to bring out this. I now understand why all leaders seem so lonely.
You're right, of course.
I mean,
Is there
yes.
something I can help you with?
if you're lucky enough as a military leader,
Of course.
you get people around you who will tell you no properly,
hmm
tell you that you are a.
I had to see if Rex was overhearing this. Do you think Rex was aware of what was going on beforehand? Like he paid attention just enough to know there's something up down.
Yes, yes, I do actually, because Rex is not.
He's not stupid.
He's not stupid, and he is a person that
He doesn't go off the rails because first off, that's what got Krogan into the genophage mess in the first place, and also like he knows he's only hearing every third word. I also think that a part of it is that Rex trusts Shepard.
100%.
Intrinsically trusts him.
100%. I think that Rex trusts her. I think that he believes in her. I think that after the fact that you don't kill him in Varmar, where he knows he's going wrong.
I don't think he was going wrong. I think that was a point where, first off, you didn't pull the trigger right off. We weren't shooting each other out the gate.
Mm-hmm.
You allowed the standoff to happen to justify yourself.
Right.
The other thing is that Shepard justified eliminating the genophage cure then, because that would be used as a cause to enslave the Krogan to a Turian. And considering the Turians put you in this fucking place to begin with, do you really want that?
No, of course not. Hell no. Down with the Turians.
I am all for much like the Second World War, let's tear down the old world power structure.
I'm not against it.
Well, yeah, it's kind of what humanity wanted to do when they first got onto the galaxy.
Right. I like how honestly, I feel like with the exception of the Reapers, the Mass Effect universe is one of those ones that shows the future being more positive than the past. And I'm not saying that it's perfect. I'm not saying that it's become
Ready?
Yeah.
We got to hear Morden sing.
Oh, this is what we're all here for. This is what the audience loves.
Off to fight since Turians can't, with diplomats instead of a grant, but she'll be true to Tuchanka's
Off
dream.
to fight since the Turians can't.
Krogan Queen, for she is the Krogan Queen. Hurrah, hurrah for the Krogan Queen, and it is a glorious thing to be the Krogan Queen. Still prefer patter songs.
Still prefer patter songs.
I love me some Morden.
Morden is the best.
Morden is the best. I do.
And that's why I spent some time dicking around on the Normandy before going to the next mission, because these two missions, these back-to-back missions, are actually really short.
Yeah. I'm a Morden fan.
Hey, Karen. Sorry that your med bay is gonna get a holy mess made out of it.
Yeah. We got bodies, incoming bodies, lots of incoming bodies.
Well, and people who live in the radioactive muck, I'm sure they are not sanitary.
No, Lord no.
As much as you love Krogan, they got to shower first.
Oh yes, they gotta get that shower. Mm-hmm.
The fact that Karen still has some serious post-traumatic stress from her encounter on the collector vessel,
which is understandable.
Oh, it absolutely is. We also saw that with the engineers too. It's like, Kenneth, do you ever think about? No.
Nope.
Clearly he does.
Yes, he does. Which again, it's something that BioWare does that I really appreciate, which is they write. And even when they write alien characters, they're writing human characters. I'm not using human. I'm using human because I don't have another term for it. But they write characters that have human foibles, human.
I'm curious to see how this bomb
Like they get scared, they get PTSD, they have bad dreams,
they get pissed off.
They explore at least a little bit the spectrum of emotions that biological species have, and I appreciate that.
And where the differences are is how they are expressed.
Yes.
Sadness does not come, or from sadness does not come depression and despair for everyone. Sadness can be expressed as rage and frustration at times.
So who are we taking on this mission?
We're taking Edie and Garrus. We're taking Garrus for fire support reasons because this is a nice open field. We are taking Edie because the way I figure it, if the Turians cannot disable the bomb, that Edie will be able to.
I think that is wonderful logic. I also like to watch Edie run away. I think that Edie is, but no, I also really love Edie's voice actor.
Trisha Heffler, first seen from the, I don't think it was her first major acting gig, but it was like what made her as an actress was the Battlestar Galactica reboot, the Ronald D. Moore.
Yes, it was such
And
and really such a beautiful.
And given the amount of time that has passed since then, we're due for another stab at Battlestar Galactica, I think.
It is one of those stories that I never get tired of.
Well, it was about 20 years between the first one and the Ronald D. Moore series, and it's been about 20 years since.
Yeah, I think so. I think that it's, I liked it. I love the design. I think the design of the ship is great. I think the not having aliens I'm not sure how I feel about that. But
I do also like the fact that, with the exception of the FTL drive, everything that you saw on that show could be explained by present-day science.
Yeah, I do like that.
And they didn't even try to explain the FTL ship. It was just like, fuck it.
Yeah,
that might as well be magic.
I also happen to really love the fact, as a former maintainer myself, that the maintainers were actually part of the show. They didn't just show them in the background. They were actually
There was more than one Chief O'Brien.
Exactly.
Which is really funny because I think O'Brien was the name of one of the maintainers.
It might have been. I mean, it's not.
Ronald D. Moore came from Star Trek, so
it is true. But I liked the way that they did that. I thought that, well, of course, the cast was amazing. Here we're having a drop. We're getting.
I love this one because it is also a hot zone.
Exactly.
You don't see that often.
No.
Picked the Tempest submachine gun for that high volume of fire that was needed because you're not going to do what I fucking did right now, which was charge dick first into glory. Except I do.
Indeed. So I have a saying when I play the Owlcat 40K game with Argenta. For those of you that know, you know. If you don't, well, I won't explain it. But my saying is, I have bullets for everyone. And that is what's going on right now. That is, the great part about the submachine guns.
There's another reason, by the way, that I took Garrus and Edie. They both have tech powers. And specifically overload, and I gave them both the chain overload.
Ooh.
So that way it goes boo, 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 boo. Because it's really entertaining when there is a large crowd of people and you have 2 or sometimes 3 overloads firing off. And just like a little pinball.
That is tasty. That is lovely.
Kaboom. But of course, Overload has nothing on fisting.
Well, nothing has anything on fisting. So
this is one of those things where, like, the engineers are actually a really great enemy to face because it makes sense to have a sentry gun that is there mostly not even. Automated sentries are sort of like missile defense. They're not there to do the fighting for you. They're not there to overcome because they're defending a fixed position. They're there to slow the opposition down.
They are annoying as shit, is what they're doing.
It's sort of like you don't deploy minefields to defeat an army. You deploy minefields to dictate where the enemy goes. And yes, they're annoying as shit.
They're annoying as shit. That's what I'm saying about them. They have. If anything kills me in playthroughs, it's these, because I don't pay attention to them, and they end up taking me by surprise and catching me full in the face. And so I find them annoying.
Well, yeah, you're supposed to.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Defeat
the
Krogan and then plant a bomb on their planet.
it
Pretty extreme, but
like
those were desperate times.
I don't think they're overdone unless you're playing on insanity and we choose life.
No. I don't think they're overdone. I don't think there's. When I say something annoys me,
Mm-hmm.
one, it's a good thing because it means that the game is challenging enough to be to be enjoyable. But two, that's just me. I'm not saying that they're like the game's supposed to challenge me and be annoying.
I just fisted 3 men at once.
You did, and you're gonna do it again.
Damn right, not do it again.
Because
Gonna give it to you. Sorry.
because as we all know,
Always be fisted.
always be fisted. Also, always be grabbing loot. For those of you that have never played an RPG, which sounds, I can't imagine why anybody would watch this who hasn't played an RPG, but if you haven't, grabbing loot is actually there are RPGs where the whole point is to grab loot.
Borderlands, probably my favorite.
Um,
And the 4th game's launch date was just announced as being this coming September. So
lovely.
I'm thrilled about that, and it's one of those things I hope that they do to that what they did for Borderlands, for the transition from Borderlands 2 to Borderlands 3, which is like, no, we're not revisiting old stuff. It's just like, where did these assholes come from?
So what just happened there was one of those events that happens in a game that uses ragdoll physics, where it clearly wasn't planned, but it looked really, really cool, which is you did your punch against a guy and blasted him into the wall, and he slowly slid down the wall.
That is a
That was
really
cool.
big bomb.
That is a big bomb.
Like, I'm trying to figure out, like,
Debunk.
is this supposed to, like, shoot something down into the crust of the planet?
I think that's a planet cracker. I think you drop that in the middle and it explodes and it cracks the planet. And worry everybody and
Maybe not to split the planet clean in two, but it's definitely supposed to cause some damage.
Oh yeah. And
Like,
yep,
it is a genocide bomb.
it is in fact a genocide bomb.
Genobomb deployed.
Indeed.
That's a fun thing that's popped up recently. It was a 40K parody called Space King.
Ah yes.
And they actually calling it a genocide bomb.
Yes.
And he deploys it wide, not because like they're up against the wall or because it's like a last ditch effort. No, he deploys it because his armor is cracked and that pissed him off.
Indeed. I mean, but that is 40K for you. I mean, it's a parody, but it's a very, very accurate parody.
It is. It is in the realm of what I like to call the enthusiastic piss take.
Yeah.
But in order to enjoy a parody like that, you have to be extremely self-aware.
Yeah. And ultimately, I think
It's not just making fun of the property that it's parodying. It's making fun of the fans of that property.
yes, it is.
And
And that
you
is
have-
the
You have to be aware of your cohort and how they can sometimes behave.
right. And you have to be able to make fun of yourself and make fun of the things that you absolutely like, because it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's Mass Effect.
Ooh,
Whether it's the Mass Effect series, it doesn't matter what IP you really like. There are things about it that are ridiculous, and not in a whimsical, cool way.
we're playing a 5'8", 130-pound soaking wet woman whose sole power is that of punching, and we are going up against mile-high space squids, and we have to figure out how to punch them.
Yeah, well, you know,
That
you got to be.
how the concept can't possibly get more ridiculous.
You are not wrong. In this, usually in this fight, I try to shoot things before they drop out of the. Only insofar as a challenge for myself. I like to I like to kill them before they get out of the shuttle. Again, only as a challenge. And I don't often get a good kill that way,
Mhm.
but whenever I do, it just hits right.
Well, it's
Speaking of hitting right, uh, always be fisting.
Speaking of always be fisting,
Oh, and here we go.
there's supposed to be an anti-tank missile launcher around here somewhere, and I think I was obsessed for a hot minute on trying to find it, and then just gave up.
Right? I mean, when in doubt,
Like,
be fisting.
like, I don't know if the edit there was obvious or not, but I kept trying to, like, reloading, trying to find the thing, and then finally just said, screw it.
Yeah, no, I didn't notice it. I wouldn't have known if you hadn't told me about it.
Now people are gonna go looking for it.
Yeah, probably. I mean, anybody that actually, any of the 4 people that listen to us.
I like to say that I have a dozen of fans. 1 dozen.
Yeah, well, hey, that's more fans than I got.
You have OnlyFans.
I do. But just my feet.
Hey, I don't judge. That is money.
It is. It's foot money, as I say. So here we have, oh boy, is,
Oh crap, I gotta disable it manually. Alright. And so, like, apparently there is a way to save young Victus here, and that is to just not do this. Not do this mission at all, but by doing that you blow up a shit ton of Krogan. So this whole thing is just like, first off, props on him for studying this thing, because this old ass bomb, and he somehow knows how to disable it.
right?
Like, I could, guy, I can send Edie. No, I have to do this. The plot demands I die.
Well, I mean, yeah, it does.
Quantum computing. I can disable this thing far faster than you doing this stupid bullshit.
I mean, yes, and ultimately, a lot of the deaths.
With all of the stress that was resting on that pin, how could he even pull it out?
Yeah, that's one thing. But I also am a firm believer that there are a lot of deaths in Mass Effect that are just there to make it seem more dramatic,
Yeah.
and that they really don't.
Well, and there
necessarily.
is, one of the themes of war is that people, heroes will die.
Yes.
Adrian Victus here is a
Yeah.
hero.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And his death will save millions of people. And is it a tragedy? Absolutely. And a father who is also in the military has to, at least figuratively, maybe literally, because, I mean, his body can be recovered at this point, will have to bury his son, a position no parent ever wants to be in.
Nope. And absolutely. I do think when you have big things like this happen in this game, and I get that they, it's generally speaking, you can't escape it, but I would like an opportunity to be like, send one of my guys.
Or again, send Edie. Her body is expendable, and frankly, she should have been able to stop the timer anyway.
Absolutely.
But here we go. Now, there is one bit of conflict resolution here that I do love, because the bomb was a Turian device.
Indeed.
And that's the, boom, big reveal. So it's... And Rex is none too pleased about this.
No. My boyfriend gets mad. My boy gets mad.
But Rex's anger at this is understandable in the moment. But again, we've talked about this a lot, particularly around the Genophage. You have to acknowledge the history.
Yeah, and it's, something that somebody did a long time ago. Somebody made a decision, not like the people involved, like the people involved now had nothing to do with it, and they're trying to make it right. If they're trying to make something right, you got to give them credit for saying it was wrong, and we need to fix it.
Rex was a child, and Victus's great grandfather wasn't born yet.
Exactly, and
so
he's up there. He's he sacrifices his son.
A point that we make, and I am so glad that they made it.
in order to right a wrong. And that's the thing. You got to give people credit if they're trying to change, if they're trying to fix things.
His own son died today.
So,
making this right.
anyway,
Commander,
it is, you know,
yes,
it's a powerful mission. It's a powerful statement, and this sets us up for probably the greatest moment in the entire Mass Effect trilogy at this point.
Yeah.
It sets everything up beautifully. All of the sacrifice, all of the pain,
Yep.
to finally bring an end to the Genophage and bring the Krogan into the fight against the Reapers.
Absolutely.
Because now they can at least
Your son
hypothetically
had to die to
afford
fix this.
to lose the numbers.
Yep.
Especially because apparently they can pop them out. So,
not to trust you.
Yes, they can.
put your breeding kink under control.
Ugh.
Anyway, so, but we will get to curing the Genophage next time. So until then, I'm JP Arbiter.
And I'm Captain Jack.
See you next time, kiddos.
Deuces.
My son, he died with the respect of his men. I wanted to thank you for that. His sacrifice will be recorded in the histories of the 9th Platoon. Something any father would be proud of.
Yes, sir.